What you just saw me doing was making the fretboard, and here it is. It's all sorted out and ready to go for the next step, which I'm not sure what that is, but it's probably something to do with the neck, truss rod slot, and all that kind of stuff. I did end up doing this on my makeshift rider table, which is a little bit sketchy. I made that rider table for my first acoustic guitar build to cut the truss rod slot, and I used it for the next 3 guitars after that. One thing I do have to say is I do not have a chisel small enough to excavate this wood out of the nut slot, which is only about 3 millimeters wide. My smallest chisel is a 1/4 inch, so I can either make one out of a small screwdriver or I can buy a cheap 3 millimeter chisel. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I need to figure that out pretty soon, I think. But anyway, pretty exciting stuff. Just posted about this on Instagram if you want to follow me there. My handle is CMR Wood right here on the screen. I'm doing background pictures and stuff about all my builds in between videos, so if you want to follow me there, that'd be pretty cool. I've got the neck and the template here. This maple neck that I showed you in the first part, the last video. This side's got some pretty straight grain on it with some brown grains here every once in a while. And this side's got some crazy grain pattern. I think I may use this crazy grain pattern on the back of the neck and let the fretboard cover up some of these brown grain lines so that those won't be on the back. Of course, this does have brown grain lines in it, but it's kind of crazy looking, you know what I'm saying? Kind of crazy. I was watching the course that I'm going through to learn how to do this, and I will have to depart a little bit because he does some things a little bit different. So I'm really trying to plan ahead. I've been standing here for about 30 minutes just thinking through all of the steps I have to do. I need to first of all get this thing down to thickness. Then I can put the template on it, draw it out, plan for where the truss rod's going, make the cut, and then cut it out. And then I'm at least one step closer. Let me show you a couple of things right here. Look at this. If I put the neck template on the neck, I mean, I couldn't be any closer. The perfect width. I mean, I can't really go any narrower on the neck at all, or I won't be able to fit the head on there. So I think I'm okay not to joint the edge. If I joint the edge, I'll lose some width, and then I won't be able to fit the headstock. So if I put a straight edge up to the side of the neck, it is pretty much dead straight on. So I feel comfortable using a edge guide with a router and without worrying about the truss rod going at a weird angle or something like that. So I'm not going to joint the edges. I'm just going to flatten it, get it down to thickness, put that on there. And this is the kind of truss rod I'm using, the kind that has a spoke nut on the end. Now I'm not exactly sure where this goes. My feeling is it goes right at the edge of the fretboard. Just looking at pictures on Google, I did look at quite a few pictures before I decided to move forward and make the decision what I was going to do. Looks like a lot of the guitars have the spoke nut right at the end of the neck with the fretboard with a notch in the fretboard, so that you can access it. Now I've seen a few guitars that have the spoke nut there past the neck, no notch in the fretboard, but there's a notch in like the pick guard so that you can get to it. I think I'm going to do it just like I described first, with it at the end and notched out at the end of the fretboard. I think that's what I'm going to do. I was going to go ahead and use the planer over there, it's looking kind of lonely, and then follow up with the drum sander, but that thing's so stinking loud. And I've got the vacuum cleaner conveniently here for dust collection, so it'll take just a little bit longer. I'm gonna just do it all on the drum sander, the drum sander. That should be the neck. So the truss rod will go right to the edge of the neck, flush with the end. So that means my truss rod slot should end about right here, which is right short of the nut. But what I'm thinking is now, I'm kind of concerned. I feel like if I do the truss rod slot first, this is going to be a little messy trying to get some clean holes for the spoke nut and the little shaft here. So I'm just thinking out loud. So I think I need to go ahead and cut off the neck here and then use a couple of drill bits to do some holes for this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take some measurements, see how far down I need to go, and get set up for that, and I'll catch up with you, okay? Cross your fingers for me. Let's not screw this up, okay? Let's try not to screw this up. I think that's good. Okay, now I've only got to go about that deep, so let's try to keep it straight. Yeah, that's good. Somehow that hole doesn't look centered with the outside hole. That's weird. Taking the time to verify all the settings. I've got the edge guide on my little trim router, and I've got the bit just barely sticking out. I'm just going to take a real light pass first, and I'm going to start on this end and just go all the way to this line that I drew there. And I think it's all going to turn out okay. Let's just try not to screw this up. There's nothing left to do but to just do it. So let me go ahead and do it. Okay, I'm gonna just keep on walking down until I get as deep as I need to go. Check it out. Got the slot as deep as I need to go. So I'll slide this right here. It's just on top, but all I gotta do is just this. Slots right in. I actually need to go a little bit deeper right here. I guess that hole that I drilled with that second drill bit wasn't quite in the right spot. Now I can force it down and make it go past the surface, but now I can't spin the nut. You can see what that looks like down in there. It's down in there. I think if I do this again though, I want a smaller forstner bit, just so it's a little tighter around that nut. I think it's just a little bit too wide. But anyway, that's my thoughts for now. I need to open this a little bit. From the pictures I've seen, this gap to allow access to this nut is a little bit wider, and it's like cleaner looking than this. This just looks kind of jacked up. So I'm going to use some files and stuff, like little needle files like this, and just work on this opening and get it kind of looking better. And of course I'll have to do the same thing to the fretboard. I'll have to open it up on the end right here. So I could see the benefit of having a jig just to be able to route that. I may do that for the next guitar if I do this kind of spoke nut truss rod again. So I'll catch up with you when I get done with this. Okay, it's better. See, I have more access to it. It's not perfect. I definitely need a smaller forstner bit for the next one. I just think it's too wide or too big of a cavity. I'd like it to be more tight around it. Now I've got to get the shape, this fender style shape that I drew on the plans onto the headstock. So I've got a mark there, and the way I got this was this 1-inch dowel. I just kind of lined it up, kind of draw around it, and then just tried to feather in the lines. That looks pretty good, I think. I think that looks pretty close. There you go. It's the headstock. I'll probably work on this corner here a little bit, kind of smooth that out some more. But there's the neck, pretty cool. I'm at a stopping point because I don't have the tuners. I don't want to drill the tuner holes. And the tuner holes in the template, I think, are too far apart for the tuners that I got. Maybe I would have ordered some different tuners if I knew that, but these are too far apart, I think. I've got some vintage 6-in-line tuners coming. They're just Wilkinson brand, so it's nothing, major. But they look pretty cool, and I like the way they look. So I need to get them in so I can make sure that I drill the exact right distance tuner holes, because if I get them off at all, I think it could be pretty bad. So excited to move on to the next part, which I think I got to attach the fretboard and flush up the neck to the fretboard. I'm not sure. I got to look at the course and see what's next. I can't recommend the course from LutheriAcademy.com more. It goes into a lot of detail, okay? So the things that I'm mentioning is just very low detail parts of what I'm doing. I'm not trying to give everything away because I paid for the course, and if you want to learn what I'm doing, you can buy the course and go through it yourself. Well, that's going to wrap it up, I think, for this video. I appreciate you so much for coming in and watching all my videos, those of you who do, and those of you who, especially those of you who stick around till this point where I'm just rambling on at the end of the video. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough. I enjoy doing this. It's fun for me. I do it because I like it, and I like sharing what I'm doing. Hopefully you'll get something out of it, and that it's helpful to you. And I hope that it's helpful to you along the way. That's it for today. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.